Hello, Libra. How's everybody doing? Thanks for stopping in and checking out these readings. I'm really glad you've decided to join me in this moment and space of time for this year general May reading for Libra and people under the influence of Libra. Man, oh man, the end of April, the readings at the end of April were out of control. Thank you guys so much for all your comments and views and support. I would have never imagined in my wildest dreams that this little YouTube channel doing like 2 readings a month would generate such a huge amount of views, and so many people were resonating with the readings that it just like made me want to do a little tap dance. It was awesome, Libra, like super good. So these are your messages for May. We're looking for healing energies, stuck energies, and hidden messages for Libra and people under the influence of Libra for the month of May 2017. Libra, I hope you're all in a place of comfort, joy, well-being, abundance overall. Yeah, I hope it's good for you. That's my favorite part of the readings, is to wish you all well. The intention I set is for the well-being of all when it comes to finding solutions or ways around energies that may be stuck. If you're new here, thanks for joining us. I might sneeze. I'm about to sneeze. Okay, maybe I'm not. Please set your attention on this reading as we move into the 7 major areas, our 7 energy centers, looking at the major areas of life and where we are at in Libra. 7 of Pentacles up in the overall energy. Okay, good energy to have here, guys. You guys are smart. You guys are, I say it every month. I say it. You guys are wise beyond your years. So let's stay inquisitive. Let's stay in a position where we're gathering knowledge, where we're accumulating our understanding of earthly matters, of people, and of what is the best direction for us. A lot of times we, I think, feel that our direction is opened up for us based on the combination of our current circumstances plus our own inner dreams. So we're kind of evaluating, how much resources do I have to pursue this particular avenue in my life, and how much do I want it? Because here in the 7 of Pentacles, it's a clear separation. This is us, me or you, right? Deciding, okay, this is what we want. This is what our being wants to go. And this is what our resources will allow us to do. So that is the balance that we're seeking here. How much do we want it? And how much can we afford to explore finding out how much do we want it, right? That kind of thing, because life is always changing. You'll find even older people say, oh yeah, I switched jobs, I switched careers like 3 or 4 times before I found the thing that I eventually wanted to do, because sometimes we can be filled with such ambition about a certain thing, we invest all our time and money into it, and then, 5-10 years later, we wake up, it's like, nah, this is kind of not really bringing me the level of fulfillment that I thought it would be. But if anything, at least it's giving you a little bit more resources to change direction if you have to. All right, 7 of Pentacles energy up overall for Libra. Let's see what that's all about as we start in our grounding energies. 9 of Pentacles reversed. Okay, some of you have said, I'm going to come out of my shell. I'm going to put myself in situations that allow for more interaction, for more social development with my friends. Maybe some of you in Libra are developing closer connections with your friends or your social group because you have set the intention and made the decision to put more resources towards it. And by resources in this case, I mean time. You're dedicating more time to other people. You're dedicating more time to social activity. You're dedicating more time to sort of broaden your horizons, expand your knowledge base, things of that nature. Some of you may have invested in learning materials. Some of you may have invested in, maybe it's like people or properties or ideas that because Libra had this thing up in February where some of you were going through some business matters where it's like you had great ideas, but you were looking for investments, or you were shopping around for the best places to invest your money. So some of you are now maybe a potential here where it's like all your investments are soundly in place, and now you're just kind of quietly waiting and watching and maybe thinking, all right, hopefully none of you are locked in too deep for too much of time, because there may be some switches when it comes to where it is that you are investing, or that change I was sensing with this Seven of Pentacles could be coming sooner rather than later for a lot of Libras, and you could be shelling out in order to make a certain change in direction in life, okay? On a day-to-day level with Nine of Pentacles, if you find yourself coming home from work, hiding under the covers, let's not do that anymore. Let's go out, whether it's a coffee shop, whether it's a gym, whether it's, some type of seminar, a church, a group, a community. Let's get involved with community is what Nine of Pentacles is saying. Risk of a little bit too much isolation, okay, on a day-to-day level. So let's see what else we have up. Come on, card. Let's see what we have up in Sacral Energy. The Hangman, reverse. Again, more direct energy. More taking fate into your own hands. You're not leaving much up to the universe these days, Libra. The feeling is that you're knowing that it starts with you, and you're knowing that however far you're going to get comes back to the amount of effort and work that you're putting in, okay? The Hangman is saying that you guys are not really sort of too dreamy right now. You're not sort of like really like, oh, I'll leave it up to universe. I'll leave it up to source. You guys are really like digging in your heels, and you're putting in the research, the hard work, the investigation that it needs to take to get it done. Okay. And some of you may be waiting for divine inspiration as well. Some of you might have this strong desire to get very creative, to make time for, it could be anything. It could be like writing a song, something that you feel is really going to like take you to the next level. But you might be waiting on the inspiration or what that is. So with the Hangman reversed, the feeling is like you have to go through those deep mental processes to really uncover that hidden potential within you. And that involves maybe getting out into these communities, bouncing ideas off other people's. If you want to write a beautiful song about love and life, but you find yourself just kind of sitting at home, if you're not out making money, it's going to be tough to come to you unless you really get sort of really bohemian, really like beatnik about it, and go down to the street corner and pay your nickel into the hat, and or sit around outside of the coffee shop and talk to the odd stranger or the odd old hippie sitting by the park bench. That kind of energy where it's like when you can really get a strong sense of what life has been about, to more than just your particular view, your particular take on it, right? Sometimes there's this vulture energy is where it's like you kind of are up and above, and you're like looking at all, not that you're holding it in contempt, but you're kind of looking down at the things around you, and like everything is like, well, my perception of that is this, or my perception of that is this, or this happens because of that. And that comes back to social conditioning, whereas if you really engaged with what was happening over there or down there and listen for a moment to see what that was, maybe you'd find that your perception of it was a bit biased or a bit too prejudgmental. Okay, so that's what's up in sacral energy for Hangman reverse. Now we've got Seven of Wands up here in our solar plexus chakra. So this is good energy. This is you guys not giving in to, other things that might be leading you astray or tempting to bring you down, right? You guys this is the card of standing your ground or holding your position, which really goes back to this, like the power starts and ends with you. If you give up, the situation is lost. If you fight for it, the situation has the potential to improve, to grow, to be in a position of expansion, right? And this, look, what great sevens. So this is kind of the moment to take and pause again and say, is it worth fighting for? Is it worth investing in? And is this what I truly want? Because these are the questions that are going to be surrounding Libra for the month of May, I feel. So what is this lady fighting for? Look behind her. There's a great river valley with a great river. Everything she needs to have to survive is behind her. And she's setting up her metaphorical fence here of saying, thou shalt not cross, you shall not pass, right? This is what I've worked for. This is mine, right? And that's okay energy to have up in a gut instinct to a point if you feel that the people around you are up to no good. However, this is Wands. This is not Seven of Swords. Not everybody around you is out to get you. you have to be very discerning on who you can let in, who you can share with, who you can get involved with community with to bounce ideas off of, and maybe potentially learn to share to bring greater harmony or greater expansion in what you want. And at what point are you shutting too many people out? Because I do feel that the risk of that is there with this Seven of Wands in your solar plexus chakra. You've almost been like, you know what, I'll let everybody up to a certain point. But nobody's stepping past that. Nobody's getting into this heart. Nobody's going to throw me off track. No, whereas sometimes we need to go on a bit of a side adventure to really learn more about ourselves. Otherwise, you can feel or pretend yourself actualized at the age of 30 or at your first Saturn return and think, well, no, there's nothing more to learn. I'm the way I am. This is the way it's going to be. I've already been burned and nothing's ever going to burn me again. Well, that kind of attitude can sometimes lead you to really blocked energies for a lack of expansion, a lack of growth in our lives. Seven of Wands saying, yes, it's important to stand your ground, but at the same time, it's important to see that what you're fighting for is really what you want, and that there are some people that come along sometimes that are deserving and that are wanting to work with you to attain a similar goal. And you can accomplish so much more as a team rather than always having to go about it alone. Okay? That's what I got. Heart of Hearts, 10 of Cups, the car, the domestic bliss turned on its rear, 180 of where it should be. We like to see 10 of Cups come like this because that's when everybody's happy and celebrating and doing their thing. When it's like this, it doesn't mean people are unhappy and not celebrating and all has gone to hell in a handbasket. Nothing like that. 10 of Cups, a Heart of Hearts, sometimes can just mean there's a little bit of disillusionment in regards to why are things not seeming to be as beautiful as they are. And now this really speaks to Libras that have a family, that have a home, that have a lot of the things around you to a point where you like them, and maybe you're just realizing, I just don't feel fulfilled. I just, it's like I have this beautiful life now. Why am I not happy, right? Why am I not feeling the promise of being 100%? I've got a beautiful husband or wife. I've got beautiful children. I've got granite countertops. I got the whole works, right? And why am I not happy? That kind of thing. Well, the heart is saying here too, what we've talked about in the Seven of Wands here, where you get to that certain point, it happens in terms of our domestic life as well. We build to a certain point. Children get older. Life goes on. The dream, the Disney dream that we've built towards, it happens. But like everything in life, it arises and it subsides. And then new things arise and then they subside. The ebb and flow of life, it just keeps continuing on. So once we feel like we've climaxed to the point of domestic bliss, sexual fulfillment, worldly possessions, whatever it may be, Source is always going to be like, nope. It's not the end yet. It's not over yet. Now it's time. So maybe for more mature viewers as well, this could be situations now where you're involved as a grandmother or a grandfather now, and you're kind of finding that balance of where you're getting involved, living through your children, and how much am I invading too much, or am I being that grandmother or that grandparent that wants to do too much, or maybe the child is relying too much on you and asking you to look after the grandchildren all the time, and you're like, you love your children, but at the same time it's like, dang it, I'm 50 years old, I want to go and live, or I'm 60 years old, it's my time to go and see the Nile or go to Belize, and if I'm always looking after my kids, then I can't do it, right? So you have to maybe stand your ground on those type of situations I'm feeling with, okay? It could go either way. I'm just going to ask for a quick clarifier there, Libra. Why is that 10 of Pentacles reversed up in Heart of Hearts? What's got Libra feeling 10 of Cups? 10 of Cups reversed in Heart of Hearts. 10 of Cups reversed. These are the new gilded, well, they're not new. They're just the gilded tarot that I've got. So we got the Star card. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's saying don't worry too much about this. This wish fulfillment card. So some of you, younger viewers, I want to say we're really going to have to open up, get ourselves out there if the domestic bliss is what we're truly after, but maybe we can't quite fully envision yet, or it's just still in this wishing stage. The message is for the heart chakra to really open up. Don't be too narrowed in your focus of what you're willing to accept and what you're willing not to accept in terms of a partner, in terms of a place to live. And if the domestic bliss is what you're wanting, it comes in many different forms. Sometimes, if you're kind of maybe you've run into some troubles earlier in life, and now you're living with a sibling, and they've got a family, and maybe you're worried, well, I don't really fit into this family. Is just kind of saying, don't worry about it. Just be the best version of yourself. Help out when you can. Don't be too standoffish in terms of those types of things, and open your heart up, and then your wishes can come forward. It can come through for you. Okay, to see this star here as well, he may be saying that some of you are going to be looking a little bit longer and a little bit deeper into your own self to evaluate, is domestic life what I really want? The feeling is some days you guys may be saying, yes, I want it, but other days you're saying, well, maybe children would limit my capacity or my potential to go and travel the world, or to start a new business that would require 110% of my time. At the same time, you might really want kids, but you might really want to start your own business, and you might be feeling very divided over which one is more important. The star is saying, look at both, but intuitively make your decision. Listen to your heart so that that decision can come out, right? And if you are maybe seeing somebody, a man that is looking for domestic bliss, or a woman that is looking for domestic bliss, but you're uncertain of it, then it's a situation where we're going to have to talk about it, where maybe that relationship needs to be repositioned or readjusted so that the goals are a little bit more aligned. Okay, so that's what we got up there in 10 of Cups reversed. Okay, let's keep climbing, Libra. Let's keep going. Speaking of Pentacles, King of Pentacles straight up in communication. All right. This reading now is being dominated by Pentacles. It's being dominated by Earth sign. It's being dominated by worldly matters, worldly possessions, and by time. So, King of Pentacles is somebody that's looking to deepen their understanding about the finer things in life. And when I talk about the finer things in life, I'm not talking about a Porsche or a Lamborghini. When I talk about the finer things in life, I'm talking about understanding of ascension, understanding of 5D, understanding of their emotional selves, past lives, future lives, understanding that taking the time to smell the hollyhocks and the flowers is actually a lot of times more important than the status of if you sit fifth row at the Dallas Cowboys game, or if you drive, the big Range Rover or whatever it might be. King of Pentacles is somebody that's learned that material success is nice, but like I was mentioning before, the ebb and flow in life, we move past it. At some point, the things surrounding us do not bring us the fulfillment that once drove us to go out and get it, to get after it, right? Now the King of Pentacles is getting after it for different reasons. And this is for a deepening of an understanding. So, Libra, it's a good time to get involved. If this is an earth sign around you, if this is developing an earth sign in your relationships, it is a good time to talk about expectations and goals, maybe for more expansion, or for where does this relationship go next. Maybe you guys really are wanting to maybe sell the home and just go throw on the backpacks and go travel Europe, something like that. Or, if that doesn't resonate with you, if you are at a situation where maybe you're in college and you don't have a lot of resources, but you say, well, the heck with it, I don't need a lot. I don't need to live the old-fashioned status quo dream of, a double attached car garage with 3 kids playing basketball in the backyard. I don't need that. I don't want that. That's okay. Is your partner on the same page with you? And if that partner is an earth sign, or is, kind of concerned about having that sort of stuff, maybe we're evaluating of, are we on the same page with that? And again, Libra, this King of Pentacles, has a risk of being like that, really super easy. So the thing I have with at the start is like, let's look at our investments. Let's look at who we're sharing with. If we're in an ability to help somebody financially, let's go ahead and do so. That will be good karma. And when we take our power back, when it starts with you, when it ends with you, communicationally wise, let's listen to people that have already had it made. Let's listen to people, whether it's our neighbor, whether it's somebody that has like a lot of success that we look up to as maybe like a hero or a leader in the community. Let's see what they have to say about, once they have all of the earthly things that money can buy, where have they gone next? What have they done next, right? Unfortunately, I'm not at a place to be able to help you with that. But at the same time, there are definitely certain YouTube videos or people you could check out that say, all right, well, money isn't everything, right? Time is, and time is money, and time can be so much more than money. And what are we doing with our time, right? Pentacles, pentacles, pentacles. All right. Lack versus success mentality. It's all becoming clear, Libra. You guys are pretty concerned about resources. You guys are pretty concerned that there might not be enough for a rainy day. There might not be enough for tomorrow. Or somebody's wanting too much of your money, right? With Five of Pentacles. A lot of readers say this is being left out of the cold. But for me, Five of Pentacles is lack mentality. This is perceiving that what you have is not enough, right? This is perceiving that if only, sometimes filled with guilt and regret, that if I hadn't have been so foolish or so selfish, I might have more than what I have now. So be fair to yourself. If it requires more budgeting, then budget a little more. If you are doing this out of pure ignorance, let's be grateful for the things that you have, the breath, for clean water, for your health and the food. And if that is even an issue for some of you in Libra, my heart definitely goes out to you. If you're really struggling to find a job, if you're really struggling to maybe stop relying on other family members, on parents or things like that, don't worry about it. Know that love triumphs and will win out in this situation. Keep putting your best foot forward. Don't get into pulling the bed sheets over your head, and let's get out into community. Let's rely on these lower chakras for survival, right? The power begins and ends and starts with you. Let's make sure that we're putting our best foot forward every morning when we wake up. If we're unemployed, sometimes it's not just good enough to go to that one or two particular websites and then wait to hear something. Sometimes we actively need to get down to the commercial district and look for those help wanted signs. Take a job that even though if it's under what you're perceiving is your ability, let's go in, let's talk to the proprietor, that owner of that establishment, put our best foot forward, and then we can get it and make it happen. All right? So, lack mentality versus success, looking for fulfillment and staying on your game. You guys are really going to find that May is a challenge. May is a time where you are going to have to decide what is important to you and use your resources accordingly. I would not go out and be spending any money on luxury type items, comfort type items this month. This is like, let's take care of our groceries, let's take care of our rent, let's take care of our bills, and let's start stockpiling some of this stuff away, because it's like a decision could come and saying that, all right, now we have to rely on this rainy day fund for one thing or another. Okay, so that's what's up. Five Pentacles there. And the Hierophant reverse coming in from Source. So this card can say to me is that if you are in a position where you can help somebody, please do so for karmic purposes. If you feel like people have been relying on you too heavily and you just cannot take it any longer, it might be time to close the door. You're definitely a giving person. You're definitely a person that gives it their all when they put their best foot forward. But you guys are still in a position where you are at risk sometimes of going overboard, going too far in, too far deep. And that could be like things where it's like sometimes maybe nights at the club or nights at the bar, and you've spent far too much money doing this action where you're getting out of your shell. But then, Monday rolls around and you're $300 further back in the hole. And nobody's going to the club on a Monday night. So that energy kind of has to stop. So you're wondering like, oh, okay, well, what can that mean for me? The situation is like, find things that inspire you. Let's set some long-term goals here this month, Libra, that really will allow us to value our money a little bit more, value our time a little bit more, and work a little bit more harmoniously with the people around us that have similar goals. And this could be our long-term partner, or this just could be somebody that we're working together with. These are some interesting type cards. When I see Pentacles, 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 the feeling I have here is that a lot of you might be concerned over somebody like getting into your resources a little too much, or waste versus want sort of thing, right? And some of you may just be working like on projects where it's like you're waiting to be entrepreneurial, yet you're still having to do the 9 to 5, and you're making this decision of like, okay, is it time to go to part-time? Is it time to quit my job? Can I survive on whatever it is that I've created, product, service, or otherwise entrepreneurial, or are my investments going to be enough to live on so that I don't have to work anymore and I can go travel the world, that sort of thing. I would say we're still like in a evaluation phase. I would avoid making decisions too quickly about that until the final accountants, the final debits are debited and the credits are credited, kind of thing, right? You've got your future laid out. You found out how much your future is going to cost. And then based on that, then you know what's within your ability to do at present time. Sorry, I'm long-winded. Oracle card from Enchanted Map. You guys have number 88. Come together. These little giraffes are having a little kiss and having a little love. And a little pelican up top is kind of really happy or embarrassed or something. I don't know. It's source energy. It's really cool. I'm going to read from the book rather than blather on about it. Card number 8, come together. Quote, love needs to be shared, end quote. Love needs to be expressed. Drawing the come together card is a sign that you're on the path to discover the nature of this emotion in all its forms of expression. Romantic, family life, unconditional, spiritual. In every instance, there is another being involved. Love involves give and take between you and a significant other, a relative, a friend, an animal, and or spirit. This card assures you that love has come calling and seeks a partner in its dance. Know that you are cherished. Like a magnet, you're attracting love into your life. This is a time for harmonious, caring partnerships. Okay, and we didn't get too much of that. Honestly, we didn't get too much of that in this reading, other in this 10 of Cups, right? Other than, what are we going to go it alone? Are we going to be, consumed up in material things and doing things for ourselves? Are we forever going to be standing our ground here and being the one that has a tough time letting people in? Or are we really going to be in a situation where we open up, where we get this 9 of Pentacles card working for us and socially opening ourselves up to love, right? And I do feel like for a lot of Libras, like especially the millennials that are out there checking this out, that it's kind of like, what is love? What is it all about? Is it, Friday to Sunday, go out, have a few drinks and make time for some snuggles, and then Monday everybody goes their separate ways and goes back. Is that really what it is? What is domestic bliss? Do we want to have children? Are our children at a point, do we want to push them further out of the nest? Or do we want to maybe even bring them closer right now? We touched on some of those things, but it was more resource-based. So to see this card as a takeaway, as a capstone, it's kind of like been this same energy that we've been feeling for most of 2017, Libra. It's like, are you going to make that decision to really just drop everything and be involved in finding love, or are you going to be a little bit more resourceful, a little bit closed off, and just kind of hoping that happens, right? Are you actively perceiving it, or are you just sitting back waiting to receive it? Like, what are you doing? I wish I had more for you than that. I'm not going to lie, Libra. This reading left me a little bit like, oh my God, what the heck are these guys up to? Why can't I see past the fact that these guys are just like going out and spending their money and then feeling broke and feeling unloved and feeling like they're stuck? But the cards are not all that bad. The cards are saying here is like we have to find more balance other than just what we currently know. We have to get out of our comfort zone. We have to get back into a field of infinite potentiality and uncertainty and find that love definitely exists there when we give it a chance. And on the note of love, know that in a harmonious way, I love all of you, and we'll see you all next time.